Yes, you can get your employer to pay for a lawyer to look at the terms of your employment contract, and it's actually a great way to increase the value that you get out of your job offer. Now, you might be thinking, why would an employer agree to pay for your own personal lawyer? And there's a few reasons for that. The first is that you need to get a reasonable opportunity to seek legal advice on the terms of your contract in order for it to be enforceable. The second is that by making sure that you understand the ins and outs of your contract, an employer gets to reduce the risk of facing some expensive court battles down the line. And the last one I would say is just a practical point, which is by making sure that you, the employee, understand exactly what you're getting out of the job, it increases the chances of you getting a sense of how much satisfaction you'll find, which generally just creates a happier workplace. So there's a few things to keep in mind when asking for this. The first is that the employer, of course, is not going to pay for a full-blown negotiation lawyer on your behalf. So you can expect coverage for just basic contract review, which you could say would be about 1 hour of a lawyer's time per five pages of a contract. And so somebody who has about 10 to 15 years of call experience would be about maybe $500 per hour for the 5 pages. The other thing is you'll have to make sure you get a receipt to present to the employer to get that reimbursement. It'll probably be a taxable benefit as opposed to a straight up expense reimbursement. And then in terms of how to present the negotiation, here's a hook that you could consider. So if you look right on top of the signature line in your job offer, there's going to be a sentence that says something like, I confirm that I've had a reasonable opportunity to seek legal advice on the terms of this agreement, and I agree to this agreement voluntarily and without duress. Some version of that. And so that's a great hook. You can go to the employer and say, hey, I saw that line about seeking legal advice, and I was wondering if the company would be willing to pay for a lawyer to get some basic review of the contract. See, the reason is I'm really excited about the comp package that you presented to me, but I'm reading through the contract and I admittedly don't quite understand all the jargon and technical terms in there. And I'm also taking this really seriously, and I want to make sure that I understand all my obligations to the company to make sure that I fulfill them properly. So it'd be really helpful if I could get some basic legal advice here. And so see what I'm doing in that proposal is I'm providing a reason, which I've said before, always increases your chances of getting a yes. I've also explained how it benefits the employer, also increases your chances of getting a yes. And I've tried to stay upbeat in the way that I've presented it, because acting like a bulldog in these kinds of negotiations are really counterproductive. So give it a shot.